Hello everyone, let's look at merge to sorted list. The problem statement is, we want to merge to sorted linked list and return it as a new sorted list. The new list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first two lists. So here's an example. The list 1 is 1, 2, 4. List 2 is 1, 3, 4. So the merged result is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Before looking at the solution, let's first think about how we can merge two sorted arrays. Think about these two lists as two arrays. I guess we can have two pointers, I and j. They all point at the start of the list. And then, we do comparison. We push the smaller value in our result array, and then we move the index of the smaller value. For example, if I point to 2 and j point to 3, we compare the value and then we push 2 into the result array. Then, we only move index I equals I plus 1, I points to 4. J remains the same. Then j still points to 3. And then we compare the value again, 3 and 4. And then we push 3 into the result. And then we can move j, I remain the same. We do the comparison and keep pushing the smaller value into the result array and keep moving the index I and j until they reach the end. Let's move back to consider how we can merge two sorted lists. We can pretty much do the same thing, but the syntax for moving index and pushing value into result is really different. Let's look at the implementation. Let's first create a new list node. We then keep appending smaller value on it after comparison. Then, let's start our loop. The loop stop condition is if any of L1 or L2, the value is none. And then we have our comparison. Here, cur.next is the whole value of L1. Then, L1 points to its next. By doing this, it's like we push a value into the result, and then move the index for L1. After that, let's look at else. We do the same thing, but this time, we push L2. After this, we also need to move the cur value to its next. Otherwise, the previous value will be overwritten. After the iteration, then we need to do a final check for both L1 and L2. If L1 is not null, then we'll make cur.next equals L1. And the same thing for L2. We'll make cur.next point to L2. After this, we can return the merged list. The problem here is what should we return? Should we return to cur or cur.next? The answer is none of them. Let us try to print out the result. Let's run the code. We can see the print out result for cur is value is 4, next is value 4, next is null. That means the cur point to this node. But how can we return the head of the node for the linked list? The answer is we need to reserve the head before the loop. We can create a dummy variable. Its value is a newly created cur. And then, in the end, we need to return dummy.next. We can also print out the dummy and see what it looks like. Let's run the code. The result for the dummy is like this. It has a dummy node, value 0, and then we have the sorted list. So that's why we return this dummy.next. Let's submit. It looks good. Let's look at the complexity here. For space, I think it's very obvious it's constant. For time, I think it's O of m plus n. M and n represents the length of linked list 1 and linked list 2. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, please leave a comment below.